Dry promotions. So there are a lot of layoffs at companies popping up all over the United States, not just in the tech sector anymore. So a question that I've been getting a lot is, what is a dry promotion, and is this happening to me? Do I want it to be happening, or do I need to fight against this? So let's define it first. A dry promotion is when your boss comes to you, often after a layoff occurs at your company, and says to you, hey, I need you to take on some additional responsibility. I need you to cover all of Bob's duties because he was released. I need you to take on all these projects that were stationed to other people. These are going to be your work now. And it often comes without a title increase and without a salary increase. So people looking at this and they're saying, well, why would I do this? Why would I take on more work for no title bump and no comp bump? So here's how you have to look at it. You're going to fall into one of two camps on this. If you're in the first camp, you're probably going to say, listen, I am not super invested in either this company or advancing at this company. I want to do my 8 hours. I want to punch my clock. I want to do the best job I can when I'm here. And I want to go home and spend time with my family and enjoy my house. That's the first camp of how people think about dry promotions. The second camp is people that are actively trying to get promoted. They're trying to level up. They're trying to grow within their company or grow their resume or grow their LinkedIn to be able to move up into the next title in their career. So for those people, a dry promotion, although not ideal, you'd always like to get a salary bump or a comp bump, are still going to be something that you're going to want to take on in order to be able to say, I handled these additional responsibilities. Now, how long and how well you can manage it are going to be really important for the people in this second camp that are going to take this on. So if you look at this and you go, okay, so this is going to be for 3 months. The company should be very appreciative of the fact that I took on double the work or work and a half that I was doing already. And then you can go forward and, circle back with your boss after 1 quarter of this and say, hey, I've been really happy to take on this additional responsibility. Looking to see at what point these extra duties are either going to come off my plate, or if I'm going to be in line here for a title and a comp bump because I've taken on so much extra work. And that's a good cadence to it. Before a quarter, you can't really expect your manager to be able to come back and quantify what you've done in any way. Now, how long you can handle this is another thing entirely. So it comes to 6 months, 3 quarters, a year. When you get to this, if you're starting to completely burn out, it's not working for you, or if you feel underappreciated, or you feel like the company just dumped it on you and it's not actually going to help your career, you're just doubling or time and a half your work, then you have to say something or you have to exit and go to another employer. So that's for the second camp. Just a note that I forgot to mention for the first camp as well is that if they try to do this to you and you don't want it, you need to say, listen, without a comp bump or without a title change, I'm not really interested in taking on all this additional responsibility. I'm already at capacity for the work that I'm at. With the understanding that if you do that, you are putting your employer in a position where they say, is this the next person that I'm going to lay off or the next person I'm going to release if things are getting tight or we're cutting people or anything else? You put yourself in a position where you're saying no to your employer. So both camps have things to look at when they do this, but the second camp has a reason to be able to take on this responsibility that might be beneficial long-term for their career. Now, if this is you, and your company's doing this to you and you don't really have a choice, you feel like your boss has kind of put you in this situation and you're doing so much more work than you were without additional comp or without additional duty title, or even if you didn't want to move up, you're happy with your schedule or your level of responsibility. At that point, it's probably time to start to go to the market and look at if another company is going to be a better fit for you. So let me know, has this happened to you? Have you got a dry promotion before? I'm just talking about like, hey, we got a new project, you're going to be assigned to it, or hey, here's a little bit more work. That's normal. That's work. We all have to deal with that. That's what we get paid for. But has this happened where you're given basically a whole nother set or a set and a half of other people's duties when people have been released, and then you're just expected to deal with it without additional comp and title? Let me know, and let me know how you handled it. I'm interested to hear.